it's like, oh my god, God forbid an old person who doesn't have great mobility walks past me. We were in Rotterdam, and there's this old person who was like very, very hunched over, like almost like bent in half, basically, walking very, very slowly, carrying their shopping. And I was like, do not cry. Or like, you know, that thing of people saying like they see an old person sitting by themselves in a restaurant or something. Bro, I'm too sensitive for this shit. Sometimes I'll just be minding my own business, playing a computer game or doing anything, and my brain will go, remember that time you saw that puppy covered in tar and he was stuck in the tar? And I go, no, don't make me think about the puppy. And it goes, remember that puppy? What if there's other puppies covered in tar and no one ever finds them? And I'm like, I don't want to think about that. And my brain goes, think about it. Think about all the puppies no one's saving. And then I cry. And that's what I hate about my brain. Did you help the old man? Oh my god, it's so difficult for me to not help people. I'm too sensitive for this. Bubba in 1 hour, time to eat this man I killed. At least I can disassociate in a video game. But it's like, we were, this is like, first of all, this is how much I don't fit into British culture, and how also my fucking empathy levels and my dopamines from helping people. I love to help people. And so there's another time me and Ped were walking somewhere and we were around Queen Square, and there was a man who got out of a car with his 2 children, and the man had like a huge box in his arm, and he had like 4 bags on each arm, and then there were 2 tiny little kids with him, and there was a little girl and she was pushing a stroller with a baby doll in it, and the little boy was like, had like his toys in his hands or something. And the man was like outside of his like flat buildings or whatever, like his apartment complex, and he was like trying to like get to his keys, and he was holding his keys in his hand and he couldn't lift them up to the lock. And I was like, it's time to help someone. So I went over and I was like, do you want any help? And he's like, he was British, so he looked at me like, what the fuck? And then he goes, oh, actually that would be really nice. So he handed me his keys, and Ped was with me too, and I put the keys in the lock and I opened the door for him, and he came in with all of his stuff, and he opened the lift and he put some of the stuff in, and then the kids came in too, and I handed him his keys, and he was like, oh, that was really nice of you, thank you so much. And I was like, you're welcome. And then for the rest of the day, I was like thinking to myself, I helped the man with all his stuff, and he was so happy that I helped him. And it was so nice. And it was such a good time. And it was nice. I don't know. Or I'll see like, there's like I was bringing my groceries back from somewhere, and there was like an old woman who had a grocery. I was at Asda, and there was an old woman like trying to pack up her like trolley to go home with, and her bags were really, really heavy, and I was like, oh, do you need help putting your bags in there? And she's like, oh, I've got it. She's like, but that's so nice of you to offer, thank you so much. And I was like, you're welcome. You're welcome. I just like helping. And here's another fucking throwback to my tattoo thing, because I would like talk about good deeds that I did, and I don't brag about them or anything, because believe me, I'd be doing them all the time. But I told the guy that I was working for, I was like, oh, today I was like, I was like, oh, sorry I was late. I went to go mail something at the post office, and it was really cold out, and there was a homeless woman outside, and I had an extra hoodie in my car, and so I gave it to her. And I was like, and so I just talked to her for a moment, and I was late also from that. And then he was like, you tell me these things that you do, but I know you only do nice things so you can feel better about yourself, and it's selfish that that's the reason you do it. And I was like, what? What do you mean? And then for a long time afterwards, I was like, do I just do nice things for people so I feel better about myself? And I had a fucking crisis, dude. I had a crisis. And so sometimes I still think about that, or I'm like, I like helping people. Is it because I like helping people, or I like it because I feel like... I don't even know. But yeah, just once again, a fucking glimpse of, that shit. Boba in a pub hearing someone drop a glass. Are you okay? Someone help. No, it's more like if I'm near the pub and there's a girl crying somewhere because a boy has been mean to her or something, I'm like... She'll probably be okay. She does not need you to go over there and ask her if she's okay. She'll probably be fine. It's okay. So then sometimes I'll be like, okay, I won't talk to her. I'll leave her alone. And then sometimes I'll go, are you okay? Is there anything you need? I just like helping. I like to help. What's the alternative? Do nothing. I know, right? And when I told someone that, they were like, isn't it better to help someone even if you're doing it to feel better about yourself than to not help them at all? I guess so. Captain Ben, thanks for the 43 months. A superhero without any superpowers. My superpower is having too much empathy, and then I will cry about literally anything.